Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Luxury Travel Japan. My name is Bryce, and today we are going to be comparing two of Japan's airlines for your next trip, and that is ANA and ZIPAIR Tokyo. So I'm going to be ranking them off of 5 criteria, and those criteria are price, service, rewards, comfort, and entertainment. Now, for those of you who don't know, ZIPAIR is a subsidiary of Japan Airlines, which is one of Japan's most reputable airline companies, and ANA is their biggest and probably Japan's most popular airline, just in general. So to start off with price, it's December 2023, and I'm looking at flight prices for March 12th to March 19th, which is a 1-week trip. And that's a typical time a lot of tourists go to Japan. So from March 12th to March 19th, a economy flight on ZIPAIR Tokyo is $815. Now that $815 is the bare minimum price. So as mentioned, ZIPAIR Tokyo is an low-cost international airline, and nothing is complimentary. So you have to pay for literally everything, all the way down to a bottle of water, which is about 250 yen, or about $2. So $815 is the bare minimum cost for a ticket, and they sell packages which include a seat selection, a checked bag, and a meal as well. And on the way out, it's about $50, and your return flight, it's about $40. So total, it's an extra $90 for a seat selection, 2 meals, and a checked bag. Now, so $815 plus the $90, that'll run you about $905 for an economy seat. And that same date, March 12th to March 19th, ANA flight is from $949. Now, ANA is ranked as, it's one of the best airlines in the world, according to Skytrax, based off like customer service and that kind of stuff, comfort, all that. So for only an extra $44, you can fly ANA versus ZIPAIR. But if you want a budget and you want to save as much money as possible so you can spend it in Tokyo or wherever you are going in Japan, then maybe ZIPAIR is going to be the option for you. But we'll take a look at the other categories as well, and I'll help you, hopefully that can help you make a final decision. But before I continue, I just wanted to mention that for ZIPAIR Tokyo, they only fly out of a few select destinations, and that is going to be the west coast of the United States, which is, I believe, they have one in LA, they have one in San Jose, San Francisco, Seattle, as well as Honolulu, Hawaii. And also they fly out of Bangkok, Thailand, and Seoul, South Korea. But the prices that I mentioned, the $815 for ZIPAIR, or I should say $905 with all the upgrades, and the $949 for ANA, those are going to be out of LAX, because that's just the airport that I personally use, and I know a lot of travelers that I met in Japan fly out of LAX as well. So next up is going to be service. So both of them are pretty good service, very great, I should say. ZIPAIR in particular, they are a subsidiary of Japan Airlines, and ZIPAIR I've flown 6 times in the past year, and each time I've had a phenomenal experience. I am 5 feet 11 inches and 140 pounds, so a little bit on the slimmer side, and I have no problem fitting into their seats. I find them quite comfortable, maybe because it's a newer plane, but they are, the seats are a little bit on the slimmer side compared to a typical airline, but we're talking like very, very, like a minuscule amount in terms of how slim they are compared to like ANA, for example. But anyway, service, very good, and every time I fly with them, I get the cabin crew a little gift, like chocolates or cookies or something from the airport that just kind of shows my gratitude for all their hard work that they do, and that usually goes a long way, and they're usually extra nice to me, and they even write me little cards sometimes. I'll put a picture of one up right now. And it's just super sweet of them and makes the adventure all that much more exciting and fulfilling. And as far as service for ANA goes, usually it's absolutely spectacular. As I mentioned, Skytrax rates it as one of the best airlines in the world, and I know a lot of people who travel to Japan love flying with ANA as well. However, my most recent flight on ANA, I flew with them from LAX to Fukuoka, Japan, and it was from LAX to Tokyo, layover at Haneda, and then from Haneda to Fukuoka. However, both legs of the flight, I have to say, were really underwhelming just in terms of the service. I felt that the staff were very cold. They weren't really as attentive as I remember. I remember my first flight to Osaka, Japan was with ANA, and that was actually my first flight on ANA, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Yes, it was my first time, so I was overly excited, but I documented it, and I just remember absolutely nothing but amazing memories, and I had a fantastic time. I remember the staff was absolutely phenomenal, and my most recent flight on ANA to Fukuoka just didn't reflect that. However, I'm not going to let one flight sully my whole view of the airline, because I've had, like I said, a lot of good experience with them. And typically, they have also phenomenal service, as you'll see in a lot of other YouTube videos and people just traveling to Japan. I'm sure they have great experience as well. And rewards. So, ZIPAIR does have a rewards program. I believe it's linked with Japan Airlines. And Japan Airlines is part of the One World Alliance, which is partnered with American Airlines, I believe. If you are a U.S. citizen and you fly American Airlines a lot, they are a transfer partner with Japan Airlines. I've never used their rewards personally, but I'm sure it shouldn't be too much of a hassle to transfer American Airlines points over to Japan Airlines. And because Japan Airlines and ZIPAIR are linked, I'm sure you might be able to use them for ZIPAIR there. Now, ANA also, yes, they have their own rewards program, and ANA is part of the Star Alliance, which is with United Airlines, and it's probably, I believe, one of the biggest airline alliances in the world, if not the biggest. And yeah, so if you're flying United or a United frequent flyer, then you can transfer those miles over to ANA Airlines. And ANA also has their own personal rewards. They have their own US branded credit card. However, as someone who loves rewards and travel rewards, ANA, their US credit card is, I'm just going to say it, is absolute garbage. They don't really have any good sign-up bonuses or rewards, I guess you can say, unless you're flying to Japan very, very often, and have the financial means to book all these flights, then maybe it can be a little bit worthwhile. But if you're a U.S. citizen, U.S. airlines are going to be a lot more lucrative, and U.S. Branded credit cards are going to be a lot more valuable to you when it comes to rewards and points and all that kind of stuff. And next is going to be comfort. So as I mentioned, ZIPAIR, the seats are slightly slimmer, but as someone who's 5'11", 140 pounds, I have had absolutely no issues on my 6 flights with them. And yeah, I mean, the seats are comfortable. I've been able to get in a few naps. But from LA to Tokyo, it's about a 11.5-hour, 12-hour flight. So if you really care about a lot ultra comfort, I would suggest, if you have a neck pillow, that can always go an extra way. But if not, personally, I've had no issues in terms of comfort. ANA, same deal. The seats a little bit wider, but depending on the age of the plane you get, your seat might be a little bit older. So yeah, I mean, in conclusion, both of them very comfortable. No complaints. And ANA, they give you a small little pillow as well as a blanket as well, which adds to the extra comfort. ZIPAIR, from what I remember, you don't get any of that. Like I said, everything is for purchase, so you can purchase an extra blanket, etc. And lastly, entertainment. ZIPAIR has zero entertainment. They do have an app that you can download prior to departure that has a couple movies that you can watch, but we're talking about like 6 movies here. There's no screen on the back of the seat. Obviously, it's a low-cost carrier, so they're cutting costs and saving for the airline. And ANA, typical nice international airline, they have TVs on the back of the seat, and they have, dozens, almost like over 100 Hollywood-style movies. They have Japanese movies, Korean, Chinese, you name it, music, and like little games for kids to play. So that's always a benefit if you're traveling, with kids and they really need to have something to distract them while they're on the plane. Maybe ANA is the way to go. But ZIPAIR definitely, if you're flying, solo as a couple or as a family, definitely you're going to have to bring your phone, tablets, whatever you need to. Download some movies from Netflix or YouTube, because they don't have any screens on the back of the seat, and their app is not really that good in terms of entertainment. And yeah, so in conclusion, the price for ZIPAIR is $905. The price for ANA, $949. Personally, I would fly ANA. As I mentioned, it's one of the best airlines according to Skytrax and a lot of other travelers. One of the best airlines in the world, and for only an extra $40, you don't have to deal with the hassle of booking everything else separately. It's all included. 2 free check bags plus the meals included. All that comes with the purchase price, and they're just a more obviously reputable airline. They've been around far longer than ZIPAIR. ZIPAIR is only as of 2020, I believe, so 3 years. But personally, as I said, I've flown with ZIPAIR 6 times, and their customer service has been phenomenal every time. But as of right now, especially if it's your first time flying to Japan, I would go ahead and spend the extra $40 and fly with ANA. I hope that you have a fantastic flight with them. But if you are saving, then you want to save that extra $40, maybe use on a meal in Tokyo, then go ahead and fly ZIPAIR. Both of them are really good. But my personal recommendation, as of right now, is going to be ANA or All Nippon Airways. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video on ANA versus ZIPAIR Tokyo. Head on over to luxurytraveljapan.com. We have just released our Ultimate Guide to Japan ebook, and it's the most comprehensive guide for first-time travelers or seasoned travelers to Japan, and it will help turn your trip to Japan into an adventure of a lifetime. So please go ahead and go on over to the website to purchase that and support Luxury Travel Japan. If you have any questions on the airlines, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.